Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing good. I'm back to my YouTube channel after a really long time because honestly I was really occupied with my personal, my professional work, and I couldn't really get the time to do it. But today I'm in a headspace where I thought, maybe I could speak my mind about something interesting, something what I'm currently feeling, and maybe it could help a few other people who are also who go through this in their everyday life and who are maybe in a similar situation like what I am. So it's all about self reflection, and it's also about how to tackle negativity, tackle negative energy, tackle negative emotions inside your head. I wouldn't say get rid of negative emotions, because you can't get rid of something just like that. You have to just it is life, right? You have to learn to tackle it. You cannot escape it. You have to learn to face it. So I would say we learn about a little about how do you tackle these negative emotions which are inside your head, right? Everything else is secondary, but first thing first is tackling yourself, your head space, your body, and that is what is most important, right? So let's get started. So talking about emotions and feelings, as human beings we have both positive energies and negative energies. Some days are really bright, some days are extremely low, and that's all right, right? You're a human being, right? So it's okay to accept that. And your brain has both positive emotions, there's positive feelings, there are negative feelings which are running in your head. And you're constantly, when you're in a difficult situation, right, you're constantly told that be positive, be happy, try to be happy, don't think negative, and that does not work, right? So when they say don't think negative, you even, like, as humans, like, the psychology works, like, you start to think even more, right? So it's more about, I would say, accepting the situation, right? Like as grown-ups, as parents, and as a well-wisher, people would want you to be happy, and that's why they say it, and it's totally cool, right? But then that's not how your mind functions, right? Like today when I ask you to close your eyes for, like, just try that exercise, like, for at least 15 seconds, okay? um I ask you to think about that one thing. I tell you, like, don't think about this, like maybe a particular emotion or a situation. You will tend to think about that, right? So if I tell you, uh, don't think about ice creams, and for the next 15 seconds, and when you close your eyes, that's the first thing which is going to come into your, you picture ice cream, you picture food, and that's going to come. That's how the psychology works, right? And that's how human mind works. The more you tell it don't do it, the more you force it to do like that, it tends to get attracted to that emotion or to that situation or that event even more. So never do that to yourself. Always accept that there is a negative feeling and there is a positive feeling, right? Your brain can't subtract feelings, right? Your brain is very complex, human brain. It can accept addition. It knows like half of math, okay? It understands addition, it understands multiplication very well. Like, it multiplies different thoughts, does all sorts of probabilities. What your brain can't do, or what your mind can't do, is subtraction and division. They can't separate things, you can't, like, remove things, right? It is there, it can just add up things, it can multiply things. So that is how your brain functions, and that is totally okay. That's how it functions, right? But for us, we have to always remember that it is our mind and it's our body and it is our life, and that is most important, right? Your utmost priority in life should be yourself, right? Your life. I mean, more than anything, I think it's your emotions which impact you the most. So you have to train your mind and body in a certain way, that that's not the end of the world, right? That doesn't that doesn't destroy you completely. You have to say that life is beautiful, right? I mean, you can do wonders if you stop, get out of this, if you think beyond these emotions which are bothering you, there's so much you can do, right? So always treat your mind like a child. You can say that you can train it to think in a certain way, right? To think positive, to think that, you know what, okay, you have this negative emotion coming, and that's okay, it'll go away. Just train it like that, that things will go away. And that's what meditation does to you. Whenever you feel something not right, just meditate. Just close your eyes for like 5 minutes and just think that beyond this emotions, what's happening in my life. I am alive. I'm able to breathe, right? I have a roof on top of my head, above my head. And yeah, so I have a life. I'm not dead yet. I'm living. I have a life. I'm breathing, and I have a roof on top of my head. And you should be grateful, right? Like, at least you have so much, this much at least. Emotions, you just have to think beyond that, that just be happy and grateful that you exist. Like, you are able to be in this moment. You should be thankful that, at least I have this moment in my life. Whatever it is, I don't know about the future, I don't know about the next very second, but this second is mine. You start feeling that way, you feel great. These are very fundamental things, right? Thinking when you're closing your eyes, thinking that, you have already so many emotions and stuff, but just thinking that you're alive, that that feeling is great, right? I mean, it's very fundamental feelings, but it impacts in a lot of ways. It impacts in a lot of ways, that such fear, such emotions of whatever kind of emotions you may have, that is just there in my head. But if I think beyond that, there is so much more. Like, I have a body, I have my mind, I can train it the way I want it to, right? Your physical health and your mental health is in your hands, right? The way you train your body, that's how you can get into fitness. So if I want to exercise, I can make myself fit. If I want to eat junk, I can make myself unfit. It's my choice. It's how you should treat your body like it's a temple, right? You have to treat it with the utmost respect, and same goes with your mind as well. Your psychological health, or that's how, if the more you think about it, is it helping me? No, right? It's not helping me, right? So let me just not try to avoid thinking about it. Instead, focus on things like, okay, I'm able to breathe, I have my heart's beating, I'm alive, and I am living at this moment. So you have to be thankful for those kind of things, right? And this is this physiological health, which is your physical health. And then there is your mental health. You have to d- keep it apart, separate the two of it. The moment you separate your physical health and your mental health, you will understand that it makes a huge difference. So your physical health is something which is different from your mental health, but both are very important, and you have to take care of it, so that you are at a better place, right? And you can do this by just being grateful. Instead of worrying about all the emotions which are flowing inside your head, beyond that, just think that you're able to breathe. Be grateful that you have everything around you. There are people who still care about you, and that is enough. That is enough to go forward in life. There is always somebody who cares for you. Just remember that. Like, no matter what, there are, you may not see it, but on the hindsight, there are a lot of people who aspire to be like you. Just remember that. And there are a lot of people who don't have those opportunities or the chances which you have, my friend. So do not forget that. Just be grateful that God has given you these experiences, because you can handle it and you can move forward. Not everybody goes through it, right? You are strong, so you're given certain, situations which you can handle, and that life goes on, right? So that's the feeling you have to feel, right? And you know whenever you're praying, at least whenever I pray to God, I never pray for, things to change. Like, I don't wish for something like, I have to get like this promotion, I have to do this, or I never do that. Always I pray for giving me the strength to face the situation I'm in, because I know for a fact that this is life, and it's like a, you know it's a graph, right? Which goes up and down, and these are waves, right? And it's not going to be like the same all the time, and for that I need to accept it. I will face difficult situations, and that's okay, right? It's absolutely okay to face difficult situations, but what you pray is you'll have to pray for the strength to face these difficult situations. Because if tomorrow you pray and you say that, God, I don't want any problems in my life, that's not going to happen. Like, that is not going to happen. You will have problems, you'll just have need that strength to face it, that mental strength to a great extent, and some amount of physical strength to face your current situation, right? There are people who have anger towards you, who there are emotions towards another person, like fear, anxiety, resentment. You're being very um anger, I would say, towards another person, or maybe a situation or an event. You're angry with the other person. You want to uh, destroy the other person. You have hatred towards another person, right? There are situations when you feel that for another person, and that's when you feel that, okay, I'll poison that person. Let me use this poison to destroy another person. What you don't understand, my friend, is you're doing this poison, and you are actually not destroying another person, but you're destroying yourself. Okay, when you think of poisoning somebody else's life, you cannot do that, because their life is not under your control. And what you end up doing is you feed that poison to yourself, and you die. You eventually die, because you cannot destroy another person. I'll tell you how. Because if you have so much anger for another person, or whatever it is, um, even any kind of emotion, don't you think that that's affecting you as well? Like, even if it's for like 5-10 minutes, you're really really boiling and getting angry on another other person. Like, those 5-10 minutes, you can have like high BP, right? You can have high blood pressure, you can get into anxiety issues, you can have so many different things. So why do that? You are actually poisoning yourself, you're destroying yourself, you're destroying your peace of mind. uh that's not your ulterior motive. Your ulterior motive was to destroy somebody else, but you end up destroying yourself, and that's what it is. These emotions do not help anyone. If you're angry, if you're resentful, if you want to make somebody, you try to scare somebody, it's not happening, because at the end of the day, you are doing this, you're destroying yourself. You are destroying your own self-esteem. So how then, what to do? You can say, I'm feeling very helpless because I want to do something to another person who maybe would have triggered you or angered you in a certain way, but I'm feeling helpless, so that's why I'm doing it. Instead of being feeling helpless, what you can do is just sit down there and breathe. Feel any kind of sensation which is in your body. Maybe a physical sensation, maybe you can feel your heartbeat, or maybe your breath, or maybe a sensation on your body. And just see that, what am I doing to myself, right? I'm alive. I am i should be grateful that I'm breathing, that I'm in a, I have a place to live, and I should just feel good about myself. Why am I letting these emotions take over me? They don't matter, right? It's very temporary, it's just happening now, but for that, why should I lose my peace of mind, right? Why am I letting somebody else control me and my peace of mind? Like, I'm breathing, I'm happy, let me be myself, right? So you have to start getting that emotion, that for my peace of mind, I need to like just be good, just do good, just be good. And you will attract goodness. The universe will attract it to you. You be good, you do good stuff, you be happy, you be thankful that you're breathing, you have a life above anything else, and that is enough. You are going to attract good energy, positive energy, and that is enough, my friend. So that's all you need. And this is a life lesson which I've also learned, that this is enough, right? You don't need a certificate from somebody else to say that to you. It's, you have to acknowledge it yourself because it's within you, right? It's within your head, and it's inside you. So yeah, so that's about self reflection, and that's how you can learn to tackle, lot of negative emotions. So a few weeks back, I am like I was in severe trauma, and there was this like I had like really bad days like few weeks back, and probably one of the most difficult phases. And I met this person, and young guy. I'm 29 years old. So I met this person who was, I think, 20, 21 years, and who's also my friend now. And then I was narrating my story, and not entirely, but few things, that that person understood that I was very upset. So he told me, "Do you have your watch? Do you wear a watch?" I said, "No. I mean, I was not wearing a watch at that moment." So he said that always wear a watch, and always remind yourself that everything is temporary, nothing is permanent. Like, even when you're very happy, everything is falling perfect, don't be too happy, because even that moment is going to end. And if you're very sad, if you're feeling like everything is over, your life is gone, and don't feel so bad, because even that is temporary. Everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Nobody is permanent. It's just like phases, wherein there are few days which is good, few days which are bad. We'll need to just remember that this is temporary, and time will heal everything, right? You don't know whether you're gonna, like, I'm 29. I don't know if I'm going to live for another 1 year, few months, few years, many years. Like, I don't know anything. I know I'm aware only about my present moment. And for that, I need to understand that at this moment, I should be grateful no matter what, because have a place to live. I have, uh, I can breathe, I'm alive. I think is that not enough, right? Me being alive is enough, and that's a reason for someone to live. And I think, yeah, so that child or that young person taught me a lot of things, that you know somebody says that to you, you think about it, and then you reflect on that idea, and then you realize, yeah, it's not permanent. So what I was few weeks back, I'm not that now, and what I'm now, I'm not going to be that few weeks later. So everything keeps changing, and that's the only constant. Hope everyone liked this video, and I would just say everyone to be positive, and just hold on, because no matter what, if you're a good person and you have good karma, I think it's somehow, the universe has its own signs, and it tells you that it's time to hold on, or it's time to move forward. Thank you.